buy these 5 assets and never work again. Everyone tells you you need to invest your money if you want to be rich. If you want to make money, you have to get your money working for you and you have to invest your money. But here's the thing. No one actually tells you what you should invest your money in, how you should invest your money. They just tell you to invest it. So as your millionaire friend, your bestie in real estate, entrepreneur, mentor, speaker, author, mama 5, and so much more, I'm going to tell you the best 5 assets to invest your money in so that you truly can get your money working for you. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Everyone knows that they have to invest their money. Most of us say, well, I don't have very much money to invest. Perfect. You can get your money working for you. You know that if you just keep working your job and trading your time for labor, you will never get rich. We know that. We know we have to get our money working for us. We know that rich people get their money working for them. That is why they are rich. So let's talk about 5 easy assets, simple ways that you can invest your money so that you can retire rich. You do not have to work every day for money. You can have money coming to you. You do not have to trade your labor for wages. All right, so let's get right into it because it really is very, very simple and anyone can do it. Even someone that used to be broke, bankrupt, and living in their parents' basement with bad credit. Me, I am now rich. This is what I did. I'm going to share it with you. All right, let's go. Number 1, real estate. Like I said, I am a real estate entrepreneur, a multimillionaire in real estate. I am not going to lie to you. I used to be afraid of real estate because, again, that is the thing that got me broke. I literally went broke flipping houses. However, I had no idea what I was doing. So there are ways that you can actually invest in real estate with very, very little risk. You actually can just take money that you have and get a rental property and have a property manager manage that rental property for you. I have tons of real estate investors. Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts. I'm from Connecticut, so I have a lot of peeps up north that invest down here in Florida and in Texas and in Georgia, and they have themselves a rental property. This is not difficult to do. Most people think having a rental property is really going to take them down, but the truth of the matter is really just having one property that takes you down. You cannot just have one house that you live in and think that you're going to get rich. Additionally, having just one rental property is not ideal. That is not rich. You're not going to get rich with one rental property. You have to keep going. Okay. You really can get a portfolio of rental properties. And I don't mean you have to have over 40 properties like I had at one time, but having a solid rental portfolio, even just 6 to 10 properties, is really going to change your entire financial situation because you can sell those properties. You can leverage those properties. They will create cash flow for you every single month, whether you take long-term tenants, meaning you rent out your properties vacant and unfurnished and just put people on a 1-year lease. That is an option. That's going to get you a set amount of money each month. You'll start to know. However, with short-term rentals, Airbnbs, home away, vacation rental by owner, just renting it out on a nightly basis with people staying there 3 days a week, those are short-term rentals. Those bring in 3 times the cash flow of a long-term rental. I literally relocated from Dallas, Texas to Orlando, Florida because my short-term rentals down here were making so much more money. And again, you own the property, so it's going up in value over time and you can sell off those properties. And then you even have midterm rentals where you rent to people like nurses and IT people and project managers who do projects that are they're in town for maybe 3 months or 6 months. So not a year lease, not a short-term rental, not just people on vacation or quick, little vacations, but midterm, 3 to 6 months. Those are actually very, very lucrative because again, it is not a vacant and unfurnished rental. It is a fully furnished place that they're renting, similar to a short-term rental. It's a midterm rental. And again, very, very lucrative because again, with those types of rentals, again, they're usually traveling nurses, project people that do IT and projects, and construction people working on a project and they're just in town for 3 to 6 months. And then you also have insurance claims. So people that house got flooded out or burned down and they're living in your place just until their property gets fixed. Those are amazing. The insurance company actually pays you all of the money up front and they pay like 3 times the market value. So say you have a rental property that you usually rent out unfurnished and vacant for like $2,000 a month. Well, insurance company is going to pay you like $6,000 a month for that property because again, it's furnished, it's ready to go, and it's available right then and there. And then they give you all of your money up front. So say someone's going to stay there for 3 months, Usually if you rented it out vacant, unfurnished, you would rent it out for $2,000. But like I said, they pay up to 3 times the market value. So it would be like $6,000 a month. And then 6,000 times 3, that would be $18,000. So if you have an insurance claim with a midterm rental, they're coming to stay in your property, you're getting all $18,000 up front when they come into the property. And it's, again, the check is from Allstate, State Farm, all of these different insurance companies. So again, my point is real estate. Real estate is the #1 way to wealth in America. It is more than 89% of all millionaires have been created so through real estate. You only need 3% down, 5% down, 10% down in some cases. Yes, if you are buying a bunch of rental properties, you're going to have to put down like 20%. But in many cases, you don't even have to show your income. But if you have decent credit, you can actually, especially if you live in Connecticut, Michigan, up north, and buying a property in Florida, you could buy it as your second home with 5%, 10% down, and, then make that into your rental property. Again, this is not fraudulent. You can actually do that, buy it as your second home, and then pay less money down and get a lower interest rate. And that could be a way that you got your first short-term rental or midterm rental property in a different state. Again, because if you're going to do this, it has to be more than 100 miles away from your house to have a second home and to have decent credit. And then again, 5% down, 10% down, things like that. Or you can buy your first home, with 3% down or FHA loan, live in it for a year or whatever, then move out, and that's your first rental property. So many ways to get real estate. But the amazing thing about real estate is we call it the golden trinity of investments, because it has cash flow. It also has equity. Again, anything you put down is usually the equity that you have in the property, and anything between, again, what it's worth and what you owe is equity. And then you have the appreciation, meaning it is going up in value over time. Real estate, statistically, generally speaking, does that. Okay, especially if you maintain it the way that we encourage you to maintain your property, so you really can get wealthy with real estate. And again, start with just one rental property. You don't have to go all out and go get 5 rental properties all at once. That could be overwhelming for you. But if you slowly say, okay, in 2 years, I'm going to get 4 properties, that is a really, really easy thing to do. You can even start finding people that are having distress, finding people that are in bankruptcy, people that are in foreclosure, people that are behind on those payments, and picking up distressed real estate assets for pennies on the dollar. You can easily build your wealth with real estate. That is the thing that I did. Whether I do YouTube, whether I write books, I have my real estate. And that is how I actually became a millionaire before ever even coming onto social media. Then now I teach real estate, and that has become another stream of revenue for me. So it all started with real estate, because real estate, again, cash flow, equity, and appreciation. I can really get rich with real estate. I can buy distressed assets and just own them. And then let's even talk about the second part. Real estate flipping. So again, you can own real estate. You don't have to be the landlord. You can be the landlord if you want to and collect the rents, or you can hire a property manager, or you can just flip properties, literally buy distressed assets, like I said, renovate them and fix and flip them. Easy to do. You do not need a lot of education. You do want to get some education, because you want to make sure you're buying the properties right, buying distressed properties. And again, you can learn this by going to classes and seminars and conferences. You do not need a college degree for this. You don't need any masters. Most people that actually have that stuff usually are dumb and are risk averse. Being really honest, saying somebody with an education, usually people that have been to school for a long time, they are so scared of everything. It's like they're scared of their own shadow. So don't listen to people that just have an education. Please only listen to people that have education and money, because most people with just education are very middle class, very middle of the road. They just kind of tiptoe their way to death. They're not going to actually try to get rich. So again, listen to someone with money when you are taking money advice. Very simple advice from me. Number 2, stocks. You have to own stocks. I love you guys so much, but essentially that is an easy way to own equity in someone else's business. So when you buy stocks, shares on the publicly traded, stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, for example, or the NASDAQ, you buy a company, a Tesla, a Amazon, but I'm actually saying buying stocks and holding them. So I'm not talking about day trading. That is one thing that you can do. Buy stocks and sell them off, and you do that all day. To me, that's kind of like gambling. I am not a big fan of day trading. Again, this is just Noelle Randall's opinion. You definitely can do what you want. However, buying stocks and owning them, and especially stocks that provide you dividends, are an asset that you want to have. And I'm talking about just like blue chip companies that have been around for a very, very long time. I invest in companies like John Deere. I invest in companies like General Electric, GE. I invest in companies like Home Depot, companies that have been around a very, very long time. Their business model has been very proven, and it is stock that's just going up over time. It's not something that I am day trading where I buy the stock today and something is happening with this company, so I know in 2 days I'm going to trade it. No, because you actually end up with day trading. Again, that is gambling. That is definitely gambling on this company being successful in the short run. My thing is investing. This is something I am going to hold on to, and it is going to work and make me money, and I'm going to let my money work. As I explained at the beginning of this, and I love you so much, you have to have some patience and let time pass. Let things work. Let people work. Let them work in that business. You bought shares, that's you investing in their business, because again, you bought the shares, that company gets the cash to invest and work that business, and you let them do their work. You are at your job, you living your life, taking care of your kids, taking care of your dog, whatever you do, living your life, and you are putting your money to work. That is what buying stocks are. Now, you can actually buy stocks that provide dividends. There are stocks, for example, like Verizon, for example, that gives you a guaranteed dividend of 7% annualized. So if you invest $100, they're going to give you $7 in a dividend. Okay, just using that as a round example. Then there's companies that give you 2%, and that's a guaranteed dividend. And that is money that you will get every single year. Now, a smart thing to do is not take that cash dividend, reinvest it in more stocks, especially companies like Verizon. You know, Verizon isn't really going anywhere. Everyone has a cell phone. If anything, they get acquired by some other company, but they're not just going to like totally go out of business, generally speaking. Now, of course, anything could happen. You're investing in a company. It truly could go bankrupt and out of business, but most likely it will not, especially with some of these bigger companies that I'm telling you to invest in that have been around for many years. What they do is very needed. They've proven that they have a great company. Their management is good. Invest in stocks. Now, of course, if you want to buy stocks, you are going to need an account. Now, Noelle Randall is not big on telling you, oh, go to Acorn or go to blah, blah, blah. I have Charles Schwab. I have, which used to be TD Ameritrade. Um, and now I have Charles Schwab, and that's where I would get my stocks. Also, the next one that I'm going to tell you, number 3, mutual funds. So mutual funds are just a group of stocks. So instead of just buying one stock in one company, what a company has done together is put together a group of stocks and put them together as a mutual fund, and they can give you a pretty decent return on investment and tell you exactly what that investment is. Again, this is what you want to do. Put your money in that, even if it's just $100 per month into a mutual fund, and you do this every single month for a few years, you will actually really, really grow your wealth and get rich this way. And you have to, again, start getting your money to work for you. So if you buy a mutual fund, you put the money in and you keep it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, most likely it is going to go up in value. And then you could cash that out, and it's a true asset for you. All right, let's keep going. Businesses. Yes, yes, yes. Number 4, business. You want to invest in businesses. As I said, buying stock is actually investing in a company, quite frankly, because again, you're buying shares of their company and you are actually investing in that company. Buying mutual funds is the same thing, but I am saying actually invest in a business, whether it be your own business, which I strongly suggest. I really feel like more of us could be entrepreneurs than we really give ourselves credit for. We are at these jobs doing amazing things. Boss loves us, manager loves us, everybody loves us, yet they're paying us a tiny, tiny fraction of what their profits are. So I truly believe more people should be entrepreneurs and you should invest in your business. However, if you know you're not a business person, because there are risks, you are going to fall down, you're going to look stupid, you're going to have to learn a lot of things. It is going to be a challenge to go from employee to entrepreneur. Trust me, I did it, but it can be done and you will make way more money. The most money I ever made working a job, and I was a highly paid employee, was $225,000 per year. Baby, I had made $225,000 already, and it's like freaking May. Okay, so you will make way more money on your own once you figure out how to make money on your own, especially with real estate and some of the things that I do where you can create multiple streams of income, and especially when you get smart about getting your money to work for you. But if you know a great entrepreneur, invest in them. You can go to places like WeFunder, for example, invest in people's companies. You will be shocked at how some of those investments can come out for you. Just imagine if you had invested in Microsoft or Amazon when they first got started. Imagine even just some of the companies that you see locally, like these big attorneys. Let's just use that example. You've been in your town driving and you see, I'm the strong arm, I'm the hammer, I'm the this person. That's a business. And in many cases, when they were first getting started with their practice, you could have invested in that business and had an ownership and had a portion of those people's businesses. There are electricians, plumbers, hairdressers, salons, landscapers, you name it, you can invest in their business. And as soon as I started getting some money, as soon as I even started getting business credit, I started investing in other people's money and made a ton of money owning salons and landscaping companies and construction companies and painting, things that I had learned and vendors I had worked with. I was able to invest in their business, and now they're sending me checks every month. So investing in business is going to not only help you get yourself rich, it actually could be this really big payoff for you. You know, that is kind of a gamble. I'm not to say that investing in a startup isn't risky. It is, but the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And if you're just patient sometimes and you just let them work that business, you'll be shocked at how your investment can grow. I have had people that invested in my businesses. I was able to pay them back in a year. Some of them had to wait 5-6 years, but they really got their money back in a big way because they just let me work the business. So again, investing is about letting your money work. You don't invest the money and then keep calling the company or checking on see what it's doing. You just go back to your thing. And again, let your money work for you. So investing in startups is something that I strongly suggest. I'm telling you unequivocally, though, I love you so much, it is riskier. However, the bigger the risk, the bigger the potential reward. That's usually how it goes. If you risk a little, you usually can't get back a lot. But if you say, okay, this is a really risky business, I'm not going to spend my last dollar investing in somebody's risky business, but I might put $1,000, $10,000 into it very, very easily. Like now I can easily invest $10, $15, $25,000 into people's businesses like it's nothing. And the richer I get, that number will grow, you know, to be 100,000, 200,000. Then one day I'll be like Mark Cuban, here's $1 million, here's $500,000, here's 250. That's how Mark Cuban grew his wealth. That is how you can grow your wealth. You easily can get basically ownership in lots of people's businesses, and one of them will pop. You know this. Like if you invest in enough people's businesses, somebody's going to be successful, especially different types of businesses that you know something about. You may not be able to do the business. Like I can't landscape, but I know about landscaping. I can see these different subdivisions. So when I invested in that landscaping company, I knew the potential. And then when he just started sending me, you know, first it was small amounts, $500, $1,000. Then it started being like, oh, wait a minute. These are some really nice numbers. That's how that works. All right, let me keep going. 4, ETF, exchange traded funds. But one of the things that I actually forgot to mention a little bit earlier were real estate investment trusts, so REITs. So exchange traded funds, similar to a mutual fund where they bundle a bunch of assets together, but a mutual fund is a bunch of stocks bundled together, all different types of assets. It could be a business, it could be some stocks, it could be some shares, it could be some hotel buildings, it could be a bunch of different assets kind of put together into this fund. Okay, so it's multiple different types of assets inside a fund. So it's an amazing investment that most people, again, don't know anything about. Again, your brokerage account, like I said, like I use Charles Schwab. Edward Jones is another one. And again, I'm not promoting any of these people. You pick the brokerage account that you like. Again, I like Charles Schwab. I'm going to put a referral link in the description box because that's just who I use. And they will not pay me for that because again, they're Charles Schwab. They can't pay me for you getting an account with them, but they will give you some extra money from using that link. And I actually had a person that I met, and she's just the sweetest person. I love her so much. She has like $300,000 cash sitting in a checking account. I was like, oh my gosh, are you insane? It was just a regular checking account. It's not a money market account. It's not a high yield savings account. So another thing you could do is put it in an EFT, put it in a mutual fund, some things that is easily liquidated, okay, easily liquidated. But again, if you're talking about making money, some of these exchange traded funds make a lot of money. And just like a REIT, a real estate investment trust, that is an easy way to invest in real estate without having to deal with the real estate. Like you are a real estate investor, I own this amount of trust. And again, there's all different type of real estate trusts. Some just have single family homes, some have hotels, some have commercial shopping centers, some have lots and land, some have office buildings, and again, a bunch of them inside of the fund. So it's all different types of REITs that you could invest in that will start bringing you back money. And some of them have guaranteed returns, guaranteed dividends, especially depending on how long they've been in effect. So these 5 assets that are named are ones you want unequivocally. Let me tell you the big secret though, because somebody's going to ask me this. Everybody asks Noelle this question all the time, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it right on record. Cryptocurrency. So another asset that people feel like you should have is cryptocurrency. Let me be clear. I do not own any cryptocurrency. Noelle Randall does not invest in cryptocurrency. So that's not an asset that I'm going to tell you to invest in. I love you so much. If that's what you want to do, I'm totally okay with you taking a gamble and doing some of that. Again, you have to take risks in life. I am not saying that you're going to be able to tiptoe your way to death. Like I said, you're going to have to take some risks. So if you want to risk some of your money on cryptocurrency, I applaud you. I don't see anything wrong with that. Just because it's not something that I do or I invest in, I'm not going to tell you that it is wrong. Bitcoin, for example, does seem like it could be solid, like it could be around in a few years. A lot of these meme coins, I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you my real opinion. I don't understand it. I don't see it, so I don't invest in it. But if you want to put some money into cryptocurrency and let it just sit there and work and you have that extra money to do, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. You have to invest your money. You have to get your money working for you. And yes, investing money will sometimes lead to you losing some money. But that's not usually how it goes. If you invest your money and you put it in the things that I just said, it will come back to you. It will come back to you. And I've given you all of the answers. So when people tell you, oh, real estate, no, that's scary. Oh, stocks, oh, you never know. The stock market is so crazy. People jump out the windows. When people are telling you these stuff, you will be like, no, I know. I have to get my money working for me. There is no other way. I'm one person. And if I just work a job and I just trade my labor for wages, I can't get rich. Rich is getting my money to work for me. Rich is me owning my time. Rich is me having freedom to buy anything that I want and do what I want with my time. That is rich. You have to get your money working for you. I love you so much. Start today. Do not let people tell you that you can't do it. People told me all kind of negative stuff. They were very, very wrong. I'm on that Drake. Boy, were you wrong. I can do it, and I know that you can do it too. Again, if you need any help with investing and you really want to take this to the next level, there are so many things that you can do to become successful. And I actually have 4 books that I want to share with you that you can get absolutely free. Just go to noellsbookoffer.com. My books, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, Business Millionaire Secrets, Toro Millionaire Secrets, and B&B Millionaire Secrets. All 4 of these books break down how I became a millionaire in all of these areas, how I use business credit and business funding to fund all of this. You can get all 4 of those books absolutely free. You just cover the shipping. Go to noellsbookoffer.com. Go there right now. We will ship you those books. Readers are leaders. You really want to take yourself to that next level. You can learn this stuff. You can do it, and you don't have to risk a lot of money. You'll put some of that money in, you'll get it working for you, and then it will grow, and then you will grow. And again, you can even actually retire. You do not have to work. I'm in my 40s and I'm already pretty much retired. I do what I want. And most of that is because of my real estate investments and some of the stocks and the IRAs and the Roth IRA that I now have. I'll make another video about some of the accounts that you should have. But again, get these books so that you can take yourself to the next level. They are free. They are packed with real information, templates, charts, scripts. All of it is in these books to help you get to that next level. Go there right now to noellsbookoffer.com. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the tools, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success. Oh, wow. Thank you for staying to the end. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Less than 33% of all of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So help me help you. Click that subscribe button and be a part of this family so I can share with you all of the knowledge that I get from these millionaires and billionaires. The bigger my channel is, the more stuff they tell me for free and the more stuff I tell you for free. All right. See you in the next episode. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.